Hey, thanks for stopping by Mystic Messages. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I hope everyone's doing amazing today. Before I begin, I just want to remind everyone that YouTube is the only channel I'm currently using. So if you happen to find these videos elsewhere on another platform or asking for donations of any kind, I just ask that you please report them. I just don't want to see anyone getting scammed. All right, so let's get to it. I was just interrupted in the middle of doing something, and this message was very important. I don't know who it's for, but it's specifically for someone who is hurt because of a relationship. Okay. Uh, Again, I don't know who you are. This, as always, if it don't apply, let it fly. You're always welcome to come back for the next one. And this message is very specific, so it probably won't be for many people, but hopefully it reaches those who need to hear it. All right, so let's get to it. Um, what my guys want you to know right now is that uh, you're holding yourself back from receiving a new relationship because of resent that you're feeling from a partner who has left you for someone else. Okay, you're feeling resentment towards the home wrecker. You're feeling resentment towards the individual who's in your life. Okay, now what my guides are informing me is that the universe wants to provide you, source, God, universe, whoever you resonate with, wants to provide you with a new relationship. However, these feelings of resentment are holding you back. And they want you to understand that the ending of this relationship had nothing to do with you. You gave it all you had, okay? And in many instances, including this instance here, this was a karmic relationship. It was meant to teach you a lesson. It was meant to teach you not to wear your heart on your sleeve. Now, not that that's a bad thing, but we oftentimes have to learn who we can and can't, give ourselves completely to. Okay, and it's a hard lesson for whoever I'm speaking to because I feel like I'm speaking to an empath, someone who's very caring, giving, and you just want to receive that same love and care in return. Okay, however, this past relationship, for whatever reason, has been the most difficult for you to get beyond. And it's holding you back. Like I said, they want to provide you with a new relationship, but these feelings of resentment and animosity are holding you back from receiving it. So what their advice is for you to do your best to let it go, move on for it. Be grateful. Be grateful that you found out what the situation was about before you went any further. Rejection is protection. Okay, sometimes things end, or the universe involves itself in our lives to end certain situations so that way we can heal and move on from it. Okay, so they're asking you to take the time and do your best to heal and allow yourself to continue being open. Don't close yourself off to the possibility of a new relationship. I'm hearing for someone you're not too old. Don't worry about it. There's always time out there. Okay, relationships could happen at any age. Okay, you're not defective. There's nothing wrong with you. Like I said before, you have a very caring and giving heart, and you have a lot to share, but you've been sharing it, unfortunately, with the wrong people. I'm getting for someone that this message was learned in childhood from your parents' relationship. Okay, you've seen the dysfunction in your parents' relationship, and that's what you were comfortable with, and unfortunately, it drove you towards relationships that felt familiar to something that you identified with as a child. Okay, so again, this was the lesson you needed to learn in this relationship, that there's nothing wrong with you. You are good enough. Okay, and this wasn't meant to hinder you, this loss. It was meant to help you grow. Okay, and when you could start to release that and let that go, the new will come in. But you have to stop doubting yourself. You got to stop doubting yourself and stop thinking so little of yourself. Okay, build yourself up. You have a lot to offer. You're a good and kind person. Okay, and there is a good and kind person who wants to come in for you. However, right now your heart chakra is closed, and it's preventing you from allowing the new to come in. Okay, it's understandable that you're going to have issues trusting right now, and that's cool. I get it. But remember, when these karmic individuals in our lives go into other relationships with homewreckers, basically they're meeting someone just like themselves, and they're going to have a karmic lesson to learn there too. And I have personal experience with this. Again, I hate to bring it up because I don't want to give them any energy, but it's an important story that maybe might help you out. I had a relationship, you know, 6 years ago where there was a homewrecker involved that decided that they were going to get involved in my relationship, okay, and take my partner from me. Okay, now my partner wasn't easy to deal with. I've had to deal with many things going on with him. Being an empath myself, I put up with a lot of bullshit in the past, which I'm no longer willing to do. So I'm sharing this story to help encourage you and give you strength to do the same. Okay, but my particular partner at the time, not only was he involved with drugs, I went through rehabs, psych wards, fake suicide attempts, all for attention. Okay, and aside from that, I mean, he would tell me things like every time I was getting ready to end a relationship, he would pull on my heartstrings by pretending to have some kind of a major illness of some kind that I wasn't aware about, because I used to go to work and he would supposedly have these doctor's appointments while I was at work and then come back with these horrific diseases that never existed. Anyway, long story short, there was an individual, exactly like himself, who he basically latched onto, who he used to commiserate with, who decided he was going to take this relationship from me, not realizing what he was getting. Okay, and this is another individual of very low self esteem. Okay, who doesn't feel good about themselves, physically, is very off their rocker. You know, I'll never forget the day that my ex came back to me, and this is when I realized he was with this individual. Where for about 3 hours after that, my ex's phone was bombarded with texts of saying "I hate you," one right after the other. It was like constant. This went on for like 3 hours, and I realized the person was insane, whoever he was dealing with. And I confronted my ex on it, and of course he lied about it. But I was getting the red flag. Anyway, I digress. Okay, basically, I'm sharing the story to show you that that relationship obviously wasn't for me. I wasn't paying attention to the red flags. My caring nature wanted me to hold on to the relationship more than I should have. I was getting all kinds of messages from the universe, and eventually, the universe provided me with the tower to complete the cycle because that was the only thing that I was able to, I was going to be able to understand in order for myself to move forward. Since then, I've learned to release. I had resentment in the beginning, and when I look back, I realized what was I resentful over? Losing a drug addict, a liar, a narcissist, everything negative. My ex was everything negative that you could possibly imagine. Okay. Now, not to say that I'm perfect. Okay, I had healing to do back then myself, and I've learned to heal that. I had to learn to heal on myself. And what the universe provided for me was by taking away that relationship. Okay, it gave me the strength to move on, so I can come out here and share with others my experiences. And that was one of the many experiences in my life that were negative, but it taught me something, and now I'm able to share it with whoever needs to hear this message today. Okay? You will get through this. You are strong. You just have to have faith, okay? And allow yourself to be open to something positive and loving. And it might be uncomfortable at first because it's something you're not used to. And they want you to know, don't let that cause you to give up on a beautiful relationship that's waiting for you. Not, because something is uncomfortable, don't let it prevent you from the gift you're going to receive. But you have to let both the resentment of your ex and the home record go. Okay. I'm getting the names Molly, Joan, Cynthia, Jonathan, Michael, Shaquan, Deirdre, Melanie. The months of September might be significant. August, July, the number 14 could be a date. 72 could be the year of somebody's birth. 41 could be someone's age. Okay, so if any of these names or numbers or months resonate with you, this message is definitely for you. So the message basically is try your best to forgive, release, learn, and move on because you can do this. You got this. You have more strength than you know. Just dig within yourself, meditate, pray, whatever works for you. Okay, but you're going to get past this, and there is something waiting for you if you allow it to come in. Okay, so just try to be open, try to get past it, forgive them, not for them, but for yourself, because you don't want to hold on to their baggage. You don't want any kind of attachment from that past. because that too will prevent you from moving forward. It'll keep the relationship from coming in. And not only will it keep something from coming in, it'll interfere in the relationship when you happen to get into it. And so you really need to clear the slate, to move on from it, to forgive it, to release it, and just, look at it as a lesson. The same way that I did. I look at it as a lesson. When bad things used to happen to me, I used to be resentful. I mean, that was just one of them. But I've learned to realize that they were lessons. There were lessons, and those lessons appear to help our souls elevate. Okay. And when our souls elevate, we are then set free. And when we have an elevated soul, our vibrational frequency raises, and we open up the door for that same frequency to find us. But if we remain in a lower vibrational state, we draw the same old negativity that we always did in the past. Okay, so that's the message for today. I might be making a second video today. I'm not sure. There's something else I'm being guided to talk about, but this was more important and it had to get out there because there's someone who needs to hear it. All right, so we'll see you again soon. Thanks again for stopping by. Take care.